the solution that they came up with, because the girl ended up telling the RD and her RA, I just don't feel, like she put on a full-on show, I just don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable in my own room. And me and Lauren was like, this B, are you kidding me right now? What's up, kings and queens? It's your girl, Essentially K. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hello. If you're returning, what's good? All right, y'all. So I'm back with another story time. Tell by the title, it kind of gets a little crazy, but before we get into this story, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Tap that notification bell so that you don't miss any weekly uploads. Also, give this video a big thumbs up because it helps me out a lot. And when you help me out, I can help you. Okay? All right, let's get into the video. All right, y'all. So in college, one of my favorite things to do was like prank my friends, my roommates, especially if I had them. But I actually did not have roommates. A majority of the time I had my own room and or my apartment, right? So I used to like just joking and having fun. First off, I went to a private Christian university, right? So, and it was already in a small town. It's pretty much like a college town, okay? And there was not always a lot to do. A lot of the things people did for fun wasn't fun for me, for sure. Like I've never been like a party person or just like wanting to be out, because I didn't smoke, I didn't drink like that at all when I was in college. And so, and even now, I'm not even a drinker really now, like not often. So that was just never my scene, but I love a good joke, honey. I like to laugh, I like to have fun. I like to prank people. So I used to prank people like all the time, especially like my freshman and sophomore years. It was like prank wars all the time, right? And it used to be so much fun, y'all. And one of my closer friends that I made during college, her name is Lauren. Shout out to you, Lauren. That's my homegirl. We met our freshman year in college. She actually, her room was directly across from mine freshman year. And then we lived just a couple floors away from each other. Our sophomore year, our junior year, we had an apartment on campus with a couple other people, some more of our friends, or at least one. That's a long story too. Anyway, so, and then my senior year, I was off campus in an apartment by myself. So me and Lauren was always like two peas in a pod, right? Like partners in crime and everything. So if I came up with a prank idea, if she wasn't a part of the prank, then I would obviously relay it to her because I wanted her in on it. So we used to have this, not friend, associate. And for the sake of this story, I'm going to call her Margaret. She had a very Margaret-like personality. Ain't nothing wrong with nobody named Margaret. But considering the fact we were only like 18, 19, and she had a Margaret personality, so just let that simmer in your soul, okay? Simmer in your spirit. So Margaret used to, first off, she was very much sheltered prior to coming to college, being homeschooled, which ain't nothing wrong with being homeschooled either. But it's common knowledge that you're exposed to a lot more stuff when you're in public school, you know, a public education system. So Lauren and I used to just kind of laugh at some of the, everybody would laugh at some of the stuff she would say, because it's like she was just getting in college. She was just so shocked by normal stuff. And like, she's like, you know, she thought every guy was like liking her, flirting with her. And we like, nah, Margaret, girl, it ain't even like that. Trust us. Baby don't like you like that, okay? So she used to like to bring up the fact, and I don't even know why. Lauren, if you're watching this and you remember this, comment down below and verify this story, okay? But I don't know why she used to bring this up, because we could be talking about cereal and she would rant, and Margaret, she as in Margaret, and Margaret would be like, you know, studies show that I took a test or something. She'll be like, I took a test in like a one of the magazine quiz type stuff. And she'd be like, and it says that I have a high sex drive. And we're like, what? First of all, ew. Why do we need to know that, Margaret? No one cares, Margaret. We talking about cereal, Margaret. What is wrong with you, right? And so she used to just think that was the funniest thing. You know, funniest thing, especially because she had never even had a boyfriend before, had never even had a first kiss before, let alone sex. And we're just like, we don't want to have this conversation, okay? We just really don't want to have this conversation. But she used to bring it up like all the time, like it was just like a badge of honor. And we were like, why are you just so fascinated with this? Like, we ain't even talking about sex. Like, why? Why do you always have to bring this up? So, sophomore year, I thought it would be funny to do a little prank on her, on Margaret, because she just kept talking. She was just boy crazy. It wasn't even just always about sex. That she would say, you know, I have a high sex drive according to this quiz, you know, and it wasn't even always about that. She just was like boy crazy, like, oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that. And me and Lauren was just like, chill. If he likes you, he likes you. If you like him, let him know. Like, why are you going through all this? So, sophomore year, I'm like, Lauren, we should prank her. We should prank Margaret. And Margaret and Lauren were roommates, and they lived on the 3rd floor. This is sophomore year. My roommate actually had to have like surgery or something the week before school started, so she never moved in, and then they never gave me a roommate. So I had the best room in the whole building. I had put my beds together, put both bunk beds together. They were stacked high, like lofted, so I had storage space underneath. I had this one like big bed. It was dope. My room was dope. I had all the closet space I needed. I took up the whole room. It was decked out, y'all. I loved my room, y'all. I loved my space, my personal space, my alone space. I am a roommate, so it was awesome. So Lauren and Margaret lived upstairs. Mind you, Lauren and Margaret are total opposite ends of the spectrum, okay? Lauren's chill, but like fun to be around and fun to hang out with. Margaret is like super over the top all the time for no reason, about the most weird, most odd things, and very much not in tune with reality in a society that we live in. So, anywho, I tell Lauren that I want to do a prank on her. She's like, okay, what kind of prank? I was like, well, since she's so obsessed with thinking everybody's like liking her and, you know, like just lusting after her, I'm gonna send her some lingerie through campus mail, right? Oh my gosh, y'all. So, okay, so on campus, we all had our own like mailbox, right? And we had our own little like key to have to get into the mailbox or whatever. And it was in a whole different building. It was in like Decker Hall. I went to Anderson University. It was in Decker. And it was at the bottom, like the basement of Decker. And so you had to walk, you know, a solid like 7-8 minutes to even get to the building to go get your mail from where our dorm was at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna send it to her for Valentine's Day. And Lauren just was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so funny, right? So she was like, let's do it. And let's like take it a step further and like get her a Valentine's Day card to make it seem like, you know, it's a secret admirer. So y'all, we go to like Walmart, I think we went to Walmart and bought the most like janky looking little like lace thong or like lace, some type of lace panty, y'all. And so they was like $1, $2 maybe. So we go and get these little panties or whatever, and I buy a card, like a Valentine's Day card. But Margaret knew our handwriting. So I was like, Lauren, we cannot write, in the card because she's going to know who sent it. And I wanted to be able to put it in her mailbox without her, mail it. I needed to mail it. I had to actually make it look real. So I had to put it in a mailbox, like a drop-off location, with a stamp and everything. Y'all, we went all out. Got a whole stamp and everything. Put it in the mail to have it mailed to campus, y'all. And so, I asked my friend, who is still my best guy friend to this day. And we've been friends since, almost 10 years now. So I asked my best guy friend to sign this card for me. He had no idea what was going on. I didn't tell him about the prank or nothing ahead of time. He didn't really know. I was just like, hey, I'm outside your dorm. I need you to come sign this card for me. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I need you to sign this card for me. I'll explain to you in a minute. He's like, okay, I'm on my way down. So he comes downstairs and I was like, this is what I need you to say. And I told him to say whatever. And I think it was I don't remember exactly what I said. But at the end, I remember telling him to say, with love, your secret admirer, or something like that. And he was like, what are you up to? And after he signed it or whatever, I was like, this is what we're doing. We're sending Margaret some panties and a card and making it seem like it's a secret admirer. He was like, that's cold. Why'd you drag me into this? I don't know parts. I was like, I'm not going to tell Margaret that you signed the card. You ain't got to worry about that. So, and still to this day, they don't know who signed the card. They don't know. So we put it in the mail, a couple days go by or whatever. And then boom, it's Valentine's Day. And I'm in Margaret and Lauren's room just hanging out in Bus Margaret, right? Boom, boom. Excited. Oh my gosh, guys. Guess what happened to me today? With the biggest smile on her face, y'all. And so me and Lauren just kind of looking at each other here we go. This is it, This is our showtime, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, oh my gosh, y'all. This is what happened to me today. Oh my goodness. I went to my mailbox and look what I found. And I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. That's legit how she was acting. And that's also kind of how she acted all the time. But that's how she was acting during this little situation, right? So we were like, what? That's crazy. What? And she was like, oh my gosh, do you think it's so-and-so? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have a secret admirer. She was flattered by it, right? When she thought that it was an actual secret admirer. So we're like, that's kind of crazy though. I don't know, man. Who do you think it is? We really egging this on. And she was like, I don't know. Guys, did you do this? And we was like, no. And she was like, are you sure? We was like, no, I didn't do it. Lauren, did you do it? No. Did you? No. So then, we had already told, or no. Margaret leaves. Two of our other friends come in the room. And we was like, look, this is the deal. We sent this to her. Right? So we need y'all to just go along with it because we're going to tell her, probably tomorrow, but for the rest of today, we want her to think this, right? That was a bad idea. So, not the prank. I do not regret the prank at all, okay? Nothing about me regrets the prank. Telling people after the fact, before we told her, is what I kind of regretted. So anyway, actually, no, I still don't regret that. Yeah. Anyway, so we went on about our business, about our day. She spent a whole hour, 2 hours trying to think who it could be. Who would do that? Oh my gosh. They're actually kind of cute. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened to me. Then the next morning comes, and because we went to a Christian, private school or whatever, we used to have to go to like chapels on Tuesday and Thursdays for like 50 minutes. So me and Lauren went to chapel, and after the chapel time was actually like the time we had a break for like lunch or whatever. And we go to lunch, and I'm with Lauren, and we see Margaret, you know, in the dining hall, whatever, and she's just giving us this death stare, right? Giving us a full-on death stare, okay? And, oh, I'm skipping something. I think the night before, she had, like, messaged me on Facebook or something. It's like, are you sure you didn't send it? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. So then, I hadn't talked to her again since, you know, that message. And so then the next day, when we see her in the dining hall, she's just like giving us the stink eye. And we're like, what in the world is going on? So then we go to the two people that we knew, we told. We're like, hey, did you tell so-and-so? And the first person was like, no, I didn't tell her. And we believed her because we rocked with her like hard. And the other girl we rocked with too, but she was like, yeah, I did tell her. Sorry, I didn't mean to like blow your cover, something. But we was like, why would you tell her? First of all, the prank had nothing to even do with you. It wasn't like you were in on it at all. You could have just act like you didn't know nothing. And so she got mad, y'all. Margaret got so mad because we sent this to her, to the point to where she went to her RA that was on her floor, told her RA she felt like we were like harassing her. And I don't even remember all the other stuff that she went and told her RA, but she gassed it up, y'all, to the point to where her RA was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry this happened to you. We got to get the RD, the resident director, y'all. The resident director involved. Y'all, this was supposed to just be a prank. I've been pranking people for 2 years. One girl, I legit made her actual body physically. She was hurt. And I ain't even, and like at the end of the day, we laughed about this. So the fact that Margaret took it to this extent, y'all, I was so upset because this was a good prank. I did well. Lauren did well. We outsourced people to sign the card and everything, y'all. So it was a nice little prank. So she goes and tells y'all, like a little snitch bee. She goes and tells. And next thing I know, y'all, we was having to have full-on meetings. Child. Full-on meetings over some pennies and a card. Lord Jesus. But the thing was, y'all, I lived on a different floor than them, so I had a different RA. My resident advisor thought it was hilarious because we used to prank each other. Me and my resident advisor, her roommate, like our floor would prank all the time. So she couldn't even take this conversation serious. She only came to me with it because her boss came to her after the other RA came to the boss. And so she came to me, and she knocked on my door. She was like, hey, we have to have a talk. She shuts the door. She comes in all serious though, y'all. She shuts the door and she goes, that was epic. So we laughing about the whole prank thing. She was like, that was such a good prank. I don't understand why they're making such a big deal out of this. But I was told I had to come talk to you, so I'm talking to you. It's not okay. Don't do it again. Ha, 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 ha. Like, the conversation was not a serious one. It was just more so like, just next time, make sure you prank somebody that's actually fun and that's not going to, like, try and get you in trouble. So next thing you know, y'all, I'm in a full-on, like, situation over this, right? Me and Lauren. And we like, are you kidding me? And they kept saying, we need to know who signed the card. I know it wasn't her handwriting. I know it wasn't her handwriting. I was like, it was my handwriting. It was my handwriting. I signed it. I went back to snitch on my friend. He had no idea what I was even trying to do. He had no idea what I was doing. So I went back to snitch on him. He ain't had nothing to do with this, for real. It was my idea, and he didn't know what he was signing, so I signed it. She was like, I know it was someone else who was in on it because that's not either one of their handwriting. I was like, I did it. Okay, what now? And they were like, we're gonna have to either take it to the board, because that's harassment is like grounds for dismissal from the dorms. And I was like, y'all gonna try and put us out of the dorm though or something like this? Get your panties out of the bunch. Get your panties out of a bunch. It was a prank. Laugh and go on about your day. Like, why must y'all try and make such a big deal out of some panties and a card? Like, you're welcome. You're welcome. Shoot. I'm probably the first person that will buy you some panties and a card, even though it was probably less than $5 altogether. Anywho, so the solution that they came up with, because the girl ended up telling the RD and her RA, I just don't feel, like she put on a full-on show, I just don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable in my own room. And me and Lauren was like, this B, are you kidding me right now? Y'all, so long story long, because I know this video is already kind of long. Long story long, y'all, they decided not to like kick us out of the dorm, but they did kick Lauren out of her room. Lauren got kicked out of her room, y'all. And the funny thing was, she got kicked out for like the last 4 weeks, bruh. So like 2 weeks or so was very awkward. They weren't talking to each other at all, and they were in the room together. So that was weird. But then we had to go on like spring break or something. Or no, it was like maybe 3 weeks of awkwardness. Then we went on spring break. Then we came back. And then that next week is when Lauren had to move, y'all. And guess where they put her? In my daggone room. My oasis. My me space. The combined beds. Y'all, I had to separate my beds for the last like month of school because we had gotten in trouble. And they put Lauren out. And I had to take her in. I love Lauren though, but I was just so upset that that situation even went that far. She was no fun. Oh, Margaret. I regret nothing. I'd do it again. For real, because that was funny. The whole reaction, everything was funny. I wish I had it on film, y'all. But comment down below if y'all have ever done a prank that kind of backfired, but not so much so to where you regretted it, but just enough to where you're like, dang, man, I got caught, or I got, you know, put in a little situation. So comment down below if you've ever pranked somebody or somebody ever pranked you and it backfired on them. Also, give this video a big thumbs up because it helps me out, and I'll see you guys back for the next story time. Peace.